The Faber Castell 9000 series wooden pencils are the most beautiful looking wooden pencils that you can probably buy in the market. My introduction to them started with a sketching set. I bought a 6-piece set, which was absolutely stunning looking inside the box. This color combination of dark green and gold is just phenomenal. So I dive deeper, and then I ended up with a 12-piece set for sketching. And these again look so pretty, I barely want to use them. So it started with a 6-piece set, I graduated to the 12-piece set, and then I realized that I want to use some for my regular day to day writing as well. And that's when this set came in, which is 10 pieces of just the HB pencil. And in retrospect, maybe HB was not the best decision. This is how the pencil looks. So it's printed on 3 of the 6 facets. It's a hexagonal shape. What it does is when you're sketching and you have a bunch of pencils loose on the table, it is highly likely that one of the sides will be facing up, or you can just rotate it slightly. Pencils that have markings on only one side, let's just get Faber Castell also makes sketching pencils or graded pencils in this model, but in this one, you see the printing is only here. So the pencil is lying like this. You have to keep rotating until you find where the markings are. But for their higher end pencils, and these are expensive, what they do is they print on 3 of the 6 sides. So just a slight rotation can tell you which lead grade you are using. For in this session, we will be looking at only the HB pencils, and this will be focused more on the writing aspect of these pencils, while in a separate video I will talk about these graded pencils and the entire set. So that's for another time. For now, let's just zoom in on the 9000 series HB pencil. And right off the bat, if we start with the looks, it is 5 star. It is absolutely stunning looking pencil. And then we come to the feel of it. I personally prefer slightly more weighty pencils. This one is okay. Maybe because it's missing the end cap eraser. It lacks a little bit of weight, but overall the paint is good. It's while it has some gloss, but that gloss does not compromise the grip. It's very easy to hold on to this and write. Let's just do a push test here. I'm holding it lightly. It moves slightly, but it's not slippery. I like the grip. It's easy to hold on to, sit down and work with. So that's another plus. Third is the lead, and this is where it splits into its two characters. Um, as you can see, this lead is a bit on the lighter side. What that does is the light lead makes writing a little difficult. I prefer slightly darker lettering. So what happens is when I use the pencil lightly without pressing it into the page, it leaves a very faint mark, and as a result, um, the overall writing gets a bit tedious. Now this is okay if we're doing a short writing session, if you're just taking quick notes on something, it works. But for longer writing sessions, it gets difficult. So I've done these 3 shadings. This is light, this is medium weight, and this is a heavy pressure on the pencil. And let's just do a quick comparison with the TIG pencils. So you can see that even in the light shade, the TIGs are about one gradation darker. So while both of these are HB, this is the TIG. This one, there's a review for this out there. You can check it out. Let's just also get the Stedler Norris, and even here you'll see that this is somewhere in between the TIG and the Faber Castell. So this lead is a bit too light for my liking. Let's also get this Faber Castell matte black. These are beautiful pencils. In fact, from a purely paint point of view, I think this is almost my favorite paint on the pencil because of the matte finish. It has absolutely no glare on the paint, which gives it a wonderful grip. And it has a decent lead too. And I think generally speaking, the Faber-Castell leads tend to be slightly on the lighter side compared to the market benchmarks. So this is Faber-Castell Matte Black. Uh, this is called the 1112 series, and of course, this one was the Faber-Castell 9000 series. So yes, it is a little on the lighter side, but the benefits of that is that while it's lighter, it is extremely durable. You sharpen it once and it holds a point like you won't believe it. It just goes on and on and on, and you can keep writing with it. And that's a major advantage for wooden pencils when you have to sharpen them less. It leads to two things. One is convenience. You don't want to be bringing out your sharpener or lead pointer and keep going through the pencil every so often. And I think it also leads to longevity. These pencils are quite pricey. If let's just come here. Fourth is the price to value equation. I think these pencils are priced a bit too steeply. If a baseline Indian pencil is available at X, these TIGs are available at about 3X. I don't recall how much the Stedler Norris was, but then the Stedler yellow pencils are at about 4X. I just made a video on these as well, the yellow pencils. At one point, these were my favorite, but the latest batches have terrible quality control and the leads are just not centered. So I can't recommend these anymore. By latest, I mean the 2024 batch. I've been using these ones since 2014. Anyway, uh, these Faber Castell. So this is Staedtler, this is Tiggs. These Faber Castell pencils, in fact, even these ones. Let's just bring this in. These are also available at about X to 1.5X. This is Faber Castell Matte Black. But the 9000 series is at about 8x the price. So at a price point of 8x the standard pencil, entry level pencil, this is not something that is really aimed at the students. It just makes it unaffordable. Where it will work, it is definitely an artist focused product. It is almost a specialized drawing instrument more than a writing instrument. Where it will also work very well is, I think, for C suite executives or any working professionals who want to use pencils, do not want to use mechanical pencils. In fact, for working professionals who want to use mechanical pencils, there are some very good options. Let me just bring them here. There are some wonderful, and you want the robustness of these big leads which don't keep breaking on you. There are a bunch of 2mm mechanical pencils or lead holders that are there. This is Staedtler 925, my all-time favorite. This is also available in dark blue. Reviews for all of these are already up on my channel. This is a Kitaboshi pencil and this is Muji. All of these are 2mm lead holders. So Kitaboshi also comes in this color, which is a wood grain color, natural wood grain color. This is Otto. Otto and Muji are quite similar with a little bit of difference. You can see the details of that in the specific videos. This is a Rotring Rapid Pro. This is just the, I don't know, maybe the segment leader or the a class act when it comes to a work pencil. This is quite interesting. And you can have these throw around pencils, flare move. These are very plasticky, not the most impressive, but decent products. All of these, check out. I'll link the playlist below if you're interested. But coming back to this, I would say for working professionals, this is a really good option. For long writing sessions, in fact, now let's move towards wrapping this video up. Um, as always, we'll do the use cases and then we will do the buy no buy. So if we talk about writing and drawing and sketching and shading, I think for writing, with this being 1 and 7, 1 being the lowest or the worst, 7 being the best, um, from a writing perspective, I think it's a middle of the pack. It is 4 to 5, but the sheer class that it brings in is just it makes up for the slight issues with writing. So I've used these quite often at my workplace. I carry these around in my pencil case. This is a more used version of the same pencil, and this is somewhere in the middle. So I've got these 3, 4 in circulation right now, and the others are in the box. So anyway, um, good pencil, good to carry around, and this in fact gives you a sense of how it wears. The This is probably another attention to detail that Faber Castell has put in. They realize probably that the golden lettering will probably fade away faster. So what they've done is they've given two sides with the gold prints, which sort of start disappearing with use. But this one, which is the matte white paint, this stays. This pencil has seen considerable use compared to a new one. And like I already said, the lead lasts a very long time. So I think it's been a year since it's been in my pencil case. Anyway, so for writing 4 to 5 plus plus, then from a drawing perspective, that is where this shines. These are both drawing and sketching. These are both top of the line products. I've made quite a few sketches with this, and the dynamic range that you can get from just one pencil, from the light tones to the dark tones. So if I'm carrying this with a single pencil, I can almost do an entire sketch on its own without having to switch between different grades of pencils. Yes, the saturation varies. If you bring in a 6B or an 8B pencil, you will see the difference in saturation. But for a basic sketch where I'm just doing it to have fun with the products or capture something that I've seen around me, I think this does a very good job. So top-notch pencil for sketching, a very good pencil for writing if you are a working professional, a good product for artists. For a student, I would suggest against it. It's just not enough value. Um, Products like these deliver much more value for students, and I think that is all I have to say about this. So let's quickly move towards a buy no buy decision. We As we prepare the boxes, I think we have a sense of how this decision will go. Oops, I have also started messing up my perspectives, but I shall not. So the left box is buy, the right box is do not buy, and so it is a conditional yes or no. And I think even for students, maybe a few of these pencils to encourage them to draw and sketch and express themselves on paper in different ways. I think this will be a good product. So, on the whole, I would say this is a buy recommendation from me, a firm buy, and a very good product to use. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment and I will try and reply at the earliest. And as always, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day ahead. A little bit of pencil ASMR before we go.